Holy snapping duck shit.
My good mate from Bump and Run Booker joins us.
I'm excited for another great show tonight. Give it the hoot nanny.
Hey everyone, welcome on to Trackside with Kokpit, brought to you by GARAGE16. We are back into our Wednesday show. My good mate, he's checking everything out, going sideways, sideways, sideways. He's doing all
How's
this.
it?
Okay, how are you, Box?
I'm good, mate. We're using a different platform tonight, so I have to make sure that I got everything tickety-boogie, you know, and then on with the glasses, off with the glasses, see what people are starting to say. Phew, flash new intro. We've had the intro for a while there, Mr. Bum Run Shutterbug. We had our music song this week that Kinser sung.
Bit of fun, eh?
Bit of fun, mate. Nothing like it, eh?
You're not going to get me to sing it tonight either. We'll play it, baby. You may play it.
But mate, yeah, it's good to be back. We had our show last week, our wrap up of the Rees tour. I went out to Miami on Saturday night and watched a bit of racing out there. And it was good. It was good fun just to sit back and I must admit, it was good to just sit back and just watch and relax and not have to worry about anything. You know, like I just spent the last 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks on the tour, and every track I was busy doing stuff. You know, and it was good to just turn up and get there half an hour earlier and walk around the pits and talk to people and catch up with people. You know, and it was actually a very positive vibe, Kins, to say, around the pits. Everybody was in a good mood, happy. And that was good to see too, you know, like everyone's in that good mood, even though it's getting near the end of a season. Maybe that's why they're happy. It's getting near the end of a season. But yeah, it was a good night at Miami. Couple of things that disappointed me, but that's okay. That's the passion we have, you know. You know what my passion is I believe track code is above everything. Mates, everything. An out-of-towner should never come to your track and win. But hats off to Scotty Tennant, mate. He drove like a demon all night. Took the lollies, the chocolates, as they say, and had the win, so it was very good. And I believe there was some good racing right around the country. Couple of bad accidents, I think, too, or something. Something happened to someone, I think I saw on the social media. But just a quick note from me, Kins, for tonight's show, those that are watching. We've got Lani Thompson on from the SNZ president to come on and talk to us tonight. And if you're here to make a smart comment in the comments or be a dickhead, you can guarantee we'll just hit that button and you'll be gone. We're here to talk about the future of Speedway, talk to Lani about her as a person and who she is, so you get to know who she is as well as what she does for our sport. And it's all about positive, like our show is every week, Kins, isn't it? You know, that's what we're about tonight. So if you want to be a smart ass and write a smart ass comment, then we'll put you in the smart ass room that never gets to come back and watch another show, and we really don't care. So it's up to you how you want to behave. But we're adults and human beings, and it's and if you want to be a dick, that falls under our anti-bullying as well. So, you know, either stand with us and be a good person, or be a dick and leave. It's really simple, eh, mate?
Well, I hope so. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's all good. All right.
Why is that?
Technological issues going. It's just going all over the bloody place. I don't
know. For me?
No, me. That's me. It's me. For some reason, but it's all good as long as you can hear me.
Yeah, you know, you're all good, mate.
Sweet ass, real tickety boo, like you say. Yeah, I was fortunate enough to be obviously back at commentating Huntley, myself and Gabe on Saturday, and that's our second to last one we'll do before the season wraps up this coming weekend. And yeah, the Hangi Stones are on the old RF2 midgets on Saturday night, but you know, good to see a few of the drivers, locals there, and the mini stocks and stock cars mixing it up. Saw the old Mike Mack car out there, mate. Has that thing got some
the C cab?
Wow, you know, well, Hendo was driving that. He mixed it up with the stock cars because it was the yeah, their special night. But yeah, overall it was a great night, and yeah, everyone had fun. Like you say, books, a bit of positivity. You kind of get the sense in amongst the pits when you walk around, you kind of get that feeling it's been a long bloody season and it's not that far away. I would estimate 3 to 4 weeks maybe for some. I'm back there at Huntley on the Anzac Day afternoon doing the North versus South go-kart racing, which will be something different. I've never commentated go-karts, but there's a lot of go-karts. There's about 25, 26 races throughout the whole afternoon, and we'll try and bring you a live stream of that as well. But otherwise, yeah, fair bit going on. 6th of June, I think, is the Huntley prize giving for me, and I know you're going to be in Gisborne doing something there as well as part of a fundraiser. But here I say it, the season is wrapping up, mate.
Yeah, and then we've got Wanganui. The team's racing at Wanganui on Anzac weekend, is it?
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm supposed to be commentating, I think, on that one. So, and you're coming down for that as well. So, and I'm taking my good mate Maru with me. Hopefully, we'll go do a day trip for that and go through. Yeah, there's not much left in the season, mate. It's coming to an end, but mate, the off season comes around real fast, though, doesn't it, bud? Like it's. I don't think they get much time, and then we're back into it again. So. Yeah, it's interesting. And plus this weekend, of course, there's a few that aren't even going to go to Speedway because you've got the V8s at Topol. So
yeah, the big one. Obviously, there's a fair few of those drivers. Most of the teams arrive tomorrow, but there's a few obviously a part of the sponsorship, doing their little bit autograph sessions, going to the corporate sponsors. But yeah, that's going to be a huge weekend. Look, it was successful, even though there was a bit of moisture dropping upon them at their big season in Taupo. But yeah, bring on this weekend. And the breaking news this afternoon is second track to be associated with 2026, I think it is, Ruapuna. So that's where it is, down in Christchurch. I already see Scott Honeybone in here jumping up and down. He'll be celebrating. They've got a brand new stadium opening down there as well. And now they're going to have another V8 supercar race in the big city down there in Christchurch. So when you think what they've gone through over many years gone past with the earthquake, building a new stadium, this is just going to be the icing on the cake for a lot of motorsports fans, especially in the South Island. So from what I read and saw on the news, I'm guessing it's more about the attractiveness of international flights. You've got the city accommodation now, and you've been to Christchurch recently. I've been down there a few times. Such a beautiful place, and yeah, I think it's
didn't like the traffic though.
Oh yeah,
didn't like the traffic, mate. Around, I was like, what the hell have I got myself into here? But that's all right. But listen, I must say, had a phone call this week from the cystic fibrosis people, and they are absolutely over the moon with what we raised for that cause. It's been a tough year for them, and they followed the Rees tour and followed us with our updates and stuff, and they just want to thank everybody, this whole Speedway family that got behind as I travel around the South Island doing this cystic fibrosis talkings. They're so amazed and blown away by the support that the Speedway family has given the cystic fibrosis cause. So to everybody out there that has supported this and that, we can't thank you enough. The cystic fibrosis ladies are they're happy. They can't thank you enough as well. So if you're at home, give yourself a hand and a clap because you all did awesome. Everybody that supported this and did this is absolutely. I can see Am's clapping in the background in the green screen there. Just awesome. So from them and us here at Kokpit Media and Pete and Asher and those on the Rees tour, we all thank you so much, and everybody played their part in doing this. And it just shows, Kins, what can be done. We put all the bullshit aside in Speedway, and it just becomes this great family of giving and helping people. And yeah, thank you. Just thank you so much. It warms my heart. Warms my heart, mate, and makes me feel very proud to be part of this all, So, yeah, thanks to everybody that just helped us. It's amazing.
Yeah. Now we're talking about myself and Gabe having a good in-depth chat on this as well over at Huntley the other night. And yeah, people, I was walking around afterwards and I said, so what's your next one? I said, we'll approach you and do something for the upcoming season. But yeah, like Booker mentioned, just to reiterate his words, thank you to each and one of you. I did get a bit of a message from Elias Dykstra. Nick Monk, right? He races at Huntley. The poor guy just has not had the rub of the green. He's had a pretty shit season in his car, to be honest. And there's a bit of banter going on between these boys, with with Nick as well. And the history shows a DNF, a DNS over the last couple of meetings. He has just not had the best start to his Speedway season. There must be an award apparently for a Grand Slam with the amount of DNS and DNSs and everything. These guys love the banter. So, yeah, like I said, can you share a bit of a chat about this on the show tonight? And it's always good to have a bit of joke, and yeah, they'll all catch up with him. So, Nick, when you see Elias next time, mate, you can give it to him when you see him trackside. Could be, I don't know, wherever you travel up to next time. Samantha Kiss, good to have you on the show. I see Mr. Repko's in a work conference, the Tid family. Things are going well out there. Waharoa, Grant Fowler up the there, Darren Lapwood, Dave Thomas, Bump and Rush, Kerry Gates. Yeah, Queen of the Clay. We're going to put that up in the second, mate. Maru Goodley, how are you, Maru? And the Goodley whānau. Wayne Alton, Ian Wilson. Hey, well done, Ian. Congrats, mate, with what your daughter achieved as well. You guys must be, as a family, extremely proud of her. Boobin Baz Racing, B-Man Walker, Shane Marshall, Brittany Carpenter. Oh, Brittany's watching, mate. She's a bloody hard case on those videos of hers. Craig Windsor. I won't say what she says. Tyler Hill. I'm from Shell Greenstone Park Speedway. How are you? Miss Drake. Andrea Waterman. 9C Jamie Hamilton next season. Yeah, so a bit of an update on that. We better get into it, and bring Ams.
Are you going to put up the what's on this weekend, mate?
Yeah, there it is.
Come on, get your shit together, boy. Hey.
There it is. That's what's on. Hey, that's what's on tomorrow
Been out of
night.
practice for too long. You're too busy bloody kicking back, drinking mochachinos and stuff.
Mate, I'm one of those smash fellas now. Yeah, Ruapuna Speedway tomorrow night. Awapuni, that's Gizzy on the Friday. Then you got a whole abundance of tracks, including Riverside. You got Wally's, Top of the South on the Saturday, and then Ocean View down there, and Whanganui, the Family Speedway on the Sunday. There you go. There's a bit of a look-see. Speedway NZ website has all that information. But I suppose without further ado, we should bring in our good friend. He just can't get enough of us. He knows who we are. And I'm pretty sure that is Mr. Ams on the Only Ams page. Hey, look at it. Give him a clap. Kia ora, bro.
Oh, boys.
Look at this guy.
Look, his internet's not keeping up with him. It's too
far. No reason whatsoever, boys. But I feel I had to clap. I just
Have you caught up
yet? Let's do it
again. Let your internet settle, boy.
I have to acknowledge the figures that Books had mentioned before about the
Oh, he's cutting in and out. You got other people on the internet there, bro.
This campaign, man, just absolutely awesome. The mahi that you guys had gone about, and doing all that stuff. So,
see, what's his internet?
It was his internet was playing up, so we lost Ams there for a second. That's his. He'll be back. I would say I could see his internet playing up, kids. I'll just we'll just quickly kill a bit of time because he'll come straight back. I'd say, unless there's a power cut or something there. But also just want to give condolences and thoughts out to the Campbell family too, McManaway, for the loss of his dad as well. So there he is, Kins. Bring it in. See if he's. You're right now, mate. What's happening with the internet?
Is my CD still scratched?
Yeah.
Nah, you're
Tell everyone to get off the internet at home, bro.
Oh, the only problem is I'm the only one that's on it.
Yeah.
Something's up. Oh no! Look at that. Oh, he's got a problem with his laptop or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not going well. He might have to jump on the good old phone. What are we going to do there, Books? What are we going to do, mate?
Well, I suppose why don't we just we'll move forward and he can be on at the end if he gets it sorted.
Yeah.
So
Let's bring Lani in, eh?
Lani in and talk to Lani for a bit. How are
Hey,
you?
Lani.
I'm good, guys. Thanks for having me. And congratulations on the fundraising for cystic fibrosis as well. That was a massive achievement, and 100% bravo to you guys. I did actually get to donate to that. I did catch up with some of your bucket wielding helpers in the crowd down at Invercargill and Dunedin. They managed to get me again in Cromwell. So
that's the trouble. We found that most people following the tour got hit a few times with our buckets, and but it's all good. You're like, and it's like I was saying before, Lani. It's good to see, when you put everything aside, how well the Speedway family and that when they want to come together, they can really come together, can't they?
Yeah, absolutely. Good cause. Well done.
And it's just something that we think is a show that we give back to people. Look, we know a lot of people suffer something, especially when it comes to the kids. And Book and I did the one around the Cancer Society to give back to them. Then we helped out Heart Kids from memory, maybe a season or two later, because they get government cuts and cystic fibrosis when we got approached by an individual, in the Speedway community. We thought, well, why not? And everyone's kind of asking now, Lani, what's your next one you're going to do? Well, I don't know. Book and I'll have to have a cup of tea one day and decide about it. But it's the generosity, like Book has said, it's from the Speedway community and giving back. And there'll be something out there we'll approach. And I can't speak highly enough, as Book has said before you come on, Lani, just to thank everyone. Traditionally, we've done this as part of the Todd and Pollock teens build-up over at Huntly. Done it out of the Huntly club rooms over the last couple of times. But with the Rees tour, why not go down there and try something different down there in the South Island? And look, they caught it with the likes of yourself, Lani, and you gave generously. And it was just different, something different to try. And instead of kind of basing yourself, centralizing it in basically trying to take money from the same people, which we all know times are tough financially. But anyway, back to you. How have you been? Honestly, how have you been?
Well, it's been the longest and the shortest past sort of 6 months that I think I've experienced in a long while. It's passed really, really quickly, but other parts of it have been painfully slow. But no, we've got a great little team in our board, and we're working together quite well. So it's been okay. I mean, it's been challenging, I'm not going to lie, and everyone knows what those challenges are because they've been quite public. But yeah, we're working together as best we can to make sure that, we learn from things that have happened and we move forward from them and make sure that those types of things don't happen again in the future. Yeah.
That's a big thing, isn't it? I think to me that's something that we all learn in life, is that when something bad happens or something is not right, well, we've got to learn from that. And if we can't learn from that, then we can't move forward. And it's good to see that you're talking about we learn from our mistakes and we move forward and make it better. I mean, that's what we do in life as well. It's a normal life lesson, not just as a board member or a Speedway New Zealand president. It's for everything we do.
Yeah. If you can't learn along the way, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah. Look, you've got to be open-minded too and have the vision that you're always learning. I think if you're in a position, example is yourself at the president of SNZ, but you've always got to learn. You've got to be open up to ideas, and that's the only way you can grow with guests and to be successful within your own team morale to build some, making sure that not everyone's going to be happy. Trust me, I know how that will works in another hat that I wear, and you would know this too, but you do your best, don't you?
Yeah, you really do. You really do. And honestly, like you get clobbered for it too. People eat half information available, make assumptions about things and judge you based on that. So it does make it a little bit harder and a bit more challenging when that's the case. But at the same time, there's equally as many people out there who are, just absolutely cheering you on and supporting you and helping you to move forward. So, yeah.
Has life changed for you since you stepped into the big position or that role as president for SNZ? Has life really changed?
I get a lot more phone calls from Speedway people, actually. But I enjoy it, and even the people who come to me with problems, they're upset and like I'm not going to lie, I've been yelled at and sworn at and called all kinds of horrible names down the end of the phone. But people are passionate about stuff, and if you talk to them and find out what the issues are and start to, unfold it, or for lack of a better term, it's a bit like an onion. There's just multiple layers to things sometimes, and you've just got to keep peeling the layers back until you get to what the actual crux of the problem is. And 9 times out of 10, it's things that we can solve reasonably quickly and reasonably easily. But people just want to be heard as well, and I think that's important. That they are able to get in contact with us if they want to and have a chat. So
Yeah.
I actually welcome that, as much as sometimes I can be a bit blindsided by some of it. But equally, we get calls. Well, I've had calls from people saying, you guys are doing a good job, well done, keep up the good work, and that kind of thing. So that's actually quite nice and refreshing as well.
Yeah, I suppose you've kind of fallen into a bigger world too, because I just mentioned prior to the show, the social media world, the keyboard warrior stuff, everyone just jumps on board whatever anyone's going to say. And I like your attitude towards it. Your phone's there. Give us a call. Let's have a chat. But some people just tend to bloody type away on whatever that social media platform is, and they go for gold. Whether they've got half a story, whether it's right or wrong, there's always an opinion, but why not address it if there is a right procedure? I'm trying to take it away from everyone just sitting there, type, 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 type. All the angst goes out. Eh? How have you dealt with some of that?
When I do see things that I find a bit confronting or a bit upsetting, or I'm not quite, I'm not sure, the tone of it looks like it's an attack or whatever, I have actually front-footed it and contacted people and said, hey, what is this about? What's the actual issue? Do we need, can we talk about it? What's the problem? So I have done that in the past, and sometimes the tone of something typed, you lose what is actually the intention of the message. So sometimes I guess it's a lack of eloquence in the written word over what you get with your verbal. So yeah, sometimes it's nothing. Sometimes it's a huge thing. It's a big deal for people, but yeah. Other stuff I just ignore, to be honest, if it's, yeah.
That's an interesting fact, though, isn't it? Like you've got to, that something that can be written can easily be taken out of context and blown well out of proportion. So it's always good to take that moment to stop and think before you respond. And that's something that we talk about with our anti-bullying thing, stop and think about what you're talking, engage that brain before you open it and say the wrong things. And that's a big part. It's good to see that you have that attitude towards it. And the other thing is, been listening to you, Lani, is a big thing is letting that people vent over the phone and then get your word in, isn't it? You just let them, you just got to sit there and take, it sounds bad. You got to take the abuse to get a resolution, So is that your sort of attitude? You just want to let them vent, get it off, and then try and have a conversation?
Yeah, well, you want to know what the actual issue is. And sometimes there's a lot of emotional stuff that comes out first. And at the end of that, there will actually be the wee gem or the what the actual issue is. So you do have to wait for it and then just clarify that is what the actual issue is. So yeah.
Yeah, we talked.
For the most part, I don't go, like, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that everyone in Speedway rings me up and yells at me down the phone. It's not the case. That's not how it actually is. But yeah, you do get the occasional people who might ring you on a Saturday night or a Friday night or whatever, and there's been something happen at the track and they desperately want you to help them. And I think one of the key things, and I'll just chuck this out there because I have got the opportunity. Read your rule book and know that there are protest procedures in there that you can use and you can avail yourself of within, depending on what the infringement might be, within 10 minutes of the results being posted or within an hour of the results being posted or the closing of the meeting. So just make sure that you know how to deal with something. If you ever come up against an issue or whatever with your racing, know how to deal with it at the track, because once those opportunities are gone, there's nothing that we can do about it. Like, once it's done, it's done. So just make sure that whatever the issue might be, that you can actually lodge. There are times when you can't lodge a protest. I understand that, and there are other mechanisms that you can use for that. but make sure you know how that protest system works, because it's really important. There's nothing worse than going away and feeling deflated and let down and upset because there's something that you feel should have been dealt with differently. Get into that system and make sure that you check that out and see whether there is anything that can be done. If it can't, it can't, and that's racing, that's sport, that's life. But make sure you avail yourself of that and you know what those rules are around those things, so that you can walk away knowing that you've done everything you possibly could.
Yeah, I've seen an example of that actually, Kinser, as well, where I've seen where one person knew the rules and used the rules to protest and to the letter of the law, and someone else didn't know those rules and they got really upset because they thought that person was being favoured, but they weren't being favoured. It was just that they understood the rule and how to deal with it, and the other person didn't. So that really, to me, resonates what you're saying. Make sure you know those rules, and then you can make it work for you as well. So I've seen that in the pits before between two people, and they thought one guy was getting favoured and the rest liked him and the other one didn't like him, but it was never that. It was never personal. It was just, that's what it was.
Yeah, because I've had calls from people, like 7 o'clock the next morning saying, well, this is what happened, and like, well, did you protest it at the time? No, I didn't know I could. And it's like, oh, I wish you knew that you could, because you wouldn't be feeling so aggrieved right now if you'd been able to go through that process, and maybe it would have been overturned and maybe it wouldn't, but at least you would have known and you would have gone through that process. So it's people get upset when they know after the fact that there was something there that they may have been able to utilize, but they didn't. So I think that's probably a key thing for a lot of people, and a lot of those grievances in the racing is, those racing rules and things that they could actually take care of on the night.
So just to get an understanding of these rules, and I'm just asking out of this side here, Lani, they can obtain the rule books online, I'm guessing, digital version. They can get them from the Speedway tracks themselves. And I'm asking as an example, maybe parents who are introducing their children into the mini stock class who doesn't really comprehend, and they want to look after their little child because, that's their pride and joy. They've invested a fair bit of money into their little race car to get him or her out there. They go through the mental side of things. Can they access the rule book and anything and get one to keep with them at home or take with them in the race trailer or in their car?
Yeah, so you can actually download the app, and that's got a link on it through to the rule book, and it doesn't actually matter whether you are a member or not. You can access that app that has the rule book on it, and that's an easy way of getting it, or it's on the website, so you can go through and save that to your favorites on your on your phone or on your whatever browser you're using, and get to it that way. But it's definitely there, and it's definitely accessible. And I think one of the things that I would recommend most is get to know your rules for your class, get to know the rules for your car, and get to know the rules for your racing, so that you can avail yourself of things, or you don't get yourself in trouble in the first place.
I quite like the fact, Kins, that it's online and anybody can see it. Maybe some of the people out there that get on the bloody keyboard quickly and start blouting off about things that happen, maybe if they read the rule book themselves, maybe they wouldn't get so upset about things, and maybe that's something that moving forward could help everybody, like to know that you don't have to be a racer to see the rule book. If you're going to get upset online about something and say that rules, go and educate yourself on the rule yourself, download the rule book, and that way it'll put less, I suppose, negativity out there in the world. If everyone understands the rules, moving forward, that's got to be a positive, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, definitely, everyone has an assumption of knowing the rules, no matter how big or whatever the event could be, as an example. And, it's no different to most sports. We're passionate about it. Whatever it is, we get so engulfed and involved in it. All of a sudden, everyone around the track becomes a SNZ official. And they know the bloody rules when they sit in there on the side of the tracks. The last thing we want is that confrontational stuff and that rubbish, because there's families that are at the event. So if you get a bit of an understanding, first and foremost, then you can hopefully understand how the race unfolds. But if you want to blurt out and think you know more than the other person next to you or behind you, keep it to yourself, man. Because we've seen it many times, books. People just stand up.
And you said the key thing, mate, which is you're at a track where families are there. and you're only making yourself look like an absolute dickhead when you go off and stand up and do it, and you're doing it in front of kids and everything. You know, as an adult, we're supposed to set an example for kids, not an example of looking like an idiot. So that was the key thing to me that you said was family. And we see people get angry. So, I mean, I've done it myself. I've got worked up, but it's you're talking to your mate beside you, you know. But, and then I go, well, I don't really understand how that works, so maybe I'll just shut up, you know. So it's interesting. The passion comes out, doesn't it? And we can't stop that passion side of it, can we, Lana? We want people to be passionate, but be passionate without the abusive side. You got to have that passion and know where that line is.
Yeah,
I think that's the key. There's the key thing that we all share is the passion for the sport. You know, we wouldn't do what we do and we wouldn't be involved in it if we didn't all basically feel the same way about it. And I think it is just the way that we deal with the disappointments along the way, because let's face it, it's a sport and you can't all win. We do have a checkered flag, and someone is going to win and someone isn't.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just how you deal with that, I guess, is the key thing in how we treat each other.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We've seen this a many a time, you know. And not everything goes right in the way you anticipate it to go, but that's the motorsport. You think of the drivers, you may sit there on the side in the grandstand and on the seats watching it, but there are ladies and gentlemen out there, kids as well, that invest a lot of coin into the sport. They're entertaining us as race fans. So you got to remember that sometimes. You're a race fan. You're not a bloody SNZ official trying to think you know all the rules and the end all and be all. Anyway, we do have a few people watching. Hey, Pete, how you going, mate? President for Greenstone Park Speedway. Lani, Wayne Street, have you travelled around a few of the tracks at the moment in your new role? I know you've been down south recently. Done a few tracks, gone to a lot more tracks than you would have done previously?
I have. I've been to a few more that I haven't been to before, which has been really cool. But there's a few that I still need to get to. It's sort of the season's running out on me really, really fast.
Yeah.
I can't believe how quickly this season has gone. Honestly, like I said before, it's been the fastest and the slowest at times season that I've ever known. So. Yeah, but no, I have got around a few. I managed to get to 3 of the South Island tracks in one go. That was quite good. But yeah, there's definitely more here in the North Island that I need to get to as well, because I haven't managed to venture terribly far from home in recent times.
So is that your goal though, to get around? Because I know that was a thing that people talked about for previous presidents, that there wasn't enough attendance at more tracks. Like, people want to see you as the president come and see their clubs and sort of say, hey, g'day, I'm, you know, is that part of your goal, is to try and do that and get to those tracks?
Yeah, definitely. I have missed all of the bike tracks this season. So I'm bitterly disappointed that I haven't managed to get to any of them yet. But I mean, there's still time for me to get to a few more. So I will commit to doing that and getting to as many more as I can. But as part of my little adventure around most of the tracks this season, I kind of became like the unofficial, I guess the quality controller of hot dogs.
So who does the best one so far? Who's got the best hot dog?
Currently leading is Nelson.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah,
there we
as
go.
I say, there's still tracks left to go. So
there you go. If Lani hasn't been you a treat, you better get your hot dog sorted. Hey, there's the challenge out there. Have the best hot dog in the Speedway of New Zealand. Hey?
Yeah. Very important. I've been hot dogs since I was 4, so yeah.
So what is your Speedway background prior to being introduced to the committee SNZ side of things? Have you grown up in amongst the sport with family, or what's the story behind you over your years and passion for Speedway?
Yeah, so when we were young, we had aunties and uncles who used to come, and they'd go to what were our local tracks. So Rotorua and Bay Park were at the time quite close to where we lived. Yep. So they would come through from Gisborne actually and pick us up and take us to Speedway. I think they were doing my parents a massive favour. I'm sure they had us packed ready to go long before they'd even left Gisborne. And it's like a 3-hour drive away. So, I think they were pretty much pushing us out the door. But we loved it. We loved it. We'd turn up there with our, picnic basket, our blanket would be, and we had the time of our lives. We absolutely loved it. And so then from there, it kind of became a bit of a situation of somewhere to go to hang out with your mates on the weekend. So that was really cool. And we all did that. It was huge fun for a good part of my teenage years anyway. And then I guess I had a bit of a hiatus for a little while there when I went away and had family, and my kid's father actually wasn't a Speedway orientated person. Well, that's actually not entirely true. He was, but we just didn't make it back to the tracks because the kids were, it was all a bit too demanding at the time. And then, so then came back in a bit later.
Good on you. That
awesome,
brings
mate.
back memories of growing up, because I'm based in Pyro. I live in Pyro, the big bottle town, the LNP town. Yeah, so Rotorua, Tauranga, Huntly, Auckland, Waikaraka, they're all my home tracks. I know exactly what you're talking about. I lived in that long grass on the banks at Rotorua there, and the old track real close to the terracotta clay at Bay Park. Loved the good old days in that big flash stadium. I thought I was the coolest guy around at that big flash new stadium. But you take a look at Vegas now, how that bloody looks, and here I am now commentating at Blooming Huntly. Pardon?
They used to have sheep.
Yeah, I remember that.
Same.
I remember
the other thing for him though, Lani, is he never grew up with Speedway.
No.
He didn't know what Speedway was till he met his wife at the moment, and she introduced him to Speedway. So old Kinser, he didn't grow up like the rest of us watching Speedway. And
funny.
Yeah, interesting, And now look at him.
Yeah, well, Speedway for me was racing around the bloody towns of Pyro in our V8s, and he was like, "You pay for the hot dogs," Naughty stuff. We did the naughty stuff, but no, it's good. That's cool to clarify that, and obviously you've done that committee thing prior to stepping into the big seat there as well. Plenty going on there. What do we got going on the question side of things? Everyone's talking about Nelson's hot dogs all of a sudden.
Yeah. And Maru's she hasn't had a gala caterers one yet in the North Island, so there you go.
Okay. Challenge on.
Yeah.
Look out, Nelson.
Well, that's it. That'd be Miani. That would be for the gala caterers. I think they are. But so moving forward, how does it look? Do you guys have a plan moving forward? What you want to achieve? Do you yourself have? I'm not asking you to tell us what you want to achieve right now. I'm just saying, have you got yourself, you've got into this role, you've seen what's happened. We're not dealing with the previous crap of everything else. We don't want to know about that. But moving forward, do you have a focus of where you see our Speedway going, so to speak? Do you sort of have an idea of what you'd like to see?
So within the board itself, we do have a strategic plan. So we worked on that towards the end of last year, early this year, and put that together. So we do have a direction around where we think we want to see the sport going. And I've heard on more than one occasion from the Speedway community that they look forward to a time where we're actually able to potentially pay officials and have I guess a professional image to the sport. Not saying that we haven't, we've lifted and we've changed and we've adapted over time, and I think we've got a really good foot to put forward at this point. But also there's a bit of a I guess there's a need now for us to move our officiating forward and look at how we do that. So that is something and that's me personally. That's what I would like to see. I would also like to see a time where we have appointed professional board members. So people who are skilled in governance, people who have spent time on boards and know how that has to work. So I think that there's definitely a need for that, because those people are going to bring with them a viewpoint from outside the sport. And I'm not saying that a viewpoint inside the sport isn't important, because it's extremely important. There's unique nuances within the sport that need to be kept on that in that governing body, that needs to be there so that we know where we're going and we're making sure that everything's nice and tidy. But at the same time, there's a skill set there that I think appointed members would be able to bring that would help grow the sport more.
Mm.
So those, I guess, are probably the key things. I don't know whether that answers your question, but I would like to see the whole lot move forward so that it becomes a bit more, I guess I'm going to say professional. It's not quite the right word, but I think you know where I'm going with it.
Yeah, I do.
I understand.
Yeah, I understand it. Yeah, I totally get what you're saying here as well. And yeah, I know what you're saying there. It's if I put it in this way, maybe in some sense, the Speedway community, and this is no disrespect to anything, could be possibly seen as maybe their poorer cousin compared to the other classes that are seen as not the poorer cousin in some sense, that type of thing. Kind of get what I'm saying. I know what you're saying. I know exactly what you're saying there. And I like your idea and your thinking pattern of going forward and bringing a bit more of a diversity thinking knowledge around what you want to bring to their governance board. And 100% right. You can't take away what people have around the sports. And oh, that's cool. Good on you. So how does it work? You're in the hot seat, right? How long are you in there? Or do you have to restand again? Is this over like local government 3 years and all this type of thing? How does it work for you? How long are you in there for?
Yeah, it is a bit similar to local government, I guess. We have elections every 2 years. So this current board was elected in July, at the end of July last year. And so we've got a little bit more time before elections are due again.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
So it's interesting, It's there's a lot of things. I think about how you say moving it forward like that, and with the professionalism and the paid officials and stuff like that. But I like the idea, but does that bring more sort of personal responsibility on those officials for their decisions if they're going to get paid for it? Do you think it increases that the perception that the public have, say, well, you're paid now, so you shouldn't get it wrong? And we know that can't work in the real world because it's just not possible.
Yeah.
So you see what I'm trying to say? I don't know how to say it properly. I'm rolling around in my head, but our public, like, I love the idea of going professional more, because then you'll bring more money into the sport, in my opinion, which I think it needs, an influx of like advertisers and people bringing in and helping more drivers and putting more bums on seats, and it just would be just a great thing for it. But then you get that more of the public saying, well, how can they get it wrong? They get paid for it now, type of thing.
Yeah. And we see that in rugby, don't we? Let's face it.
Exactly.
I mean, how often has a referee from a big World Cup rugby game had to be almost helicoptered out of the stadium for their own safety? It's kind of ridiculous. And I'm not going to lie, I've refereed a few games of rugby from the couch,
Oh, okay.
You got him then, with the pause.
We all do, So, I don't think you'll get away from that regardless of whether people are being paid for the job or not. That's just part of the job, and that's just part of how people react to different situations. I think that, yes, there will be accountability. There is already, even with our volunteer team, like they have basically their performances reported back every week. If there's something that needs to be improved, they get to know about it, and that's how that works. But I think, yes, if you are being paid, then yes, you would have, I guess, for lack of a better term, you'd have KPIs, and you'd have not ticket targets. Like, we're not going to be you haven't written enough infringements this week, but things like your consistency and those types of things would be KPI that would be really important, and upskilling and making sure that there would need to be some kind of I guess accreditation or something that goes along with it, and it would be making sure that all those credentials are up to date and things like that. It's a really long-term thing for me. It's like way out there, and yes, there would be a lot of stuff that would have to wrap around it. I think that our officials do a really great job.
I don't
want to take anything away from them. I think they do a fantastic job. They turn up at the track sometimes at 10 o'clock in the morning, and then still there at 1 a.m. And they're passionate about what they do. They do it for the love of the sport, and I appreciate every one of them. They do an incredible job.
Oh, we say it all the time, me and Kins. We think that all the volunteers and everybody at every track does amazing job. And I watched it, that South Island tour that we just did, showed it better than none to me, because I was dealing with everybody at the track, the officials, because I seemed to be the go-to person with the restore, which made it very busy for me. But I got to see and meet all these people and all these officials and stuff, and they're just normal, regular people, just that love the sport, that are trying to make it work for everybody. And I take my hat off to all of them, and me and Kins praise them all the time, and just think, just give them a break, like, man, everybody's human, eh? You can't be right 100% of the time. It just doesn't happen. Human nature doesn't allow you to make the correct decisions 100% of the time. It just will never happen. So just give them a break. And if you are out there thinking you do a better job, then put your hand up and go and do it. Simple.
100%.
It's not hard,
No, exactly. A lot of track promoters ask that when we've had them on. We did the big promoter build-up at the start of the Speedway season. There's that opportunity for you to become a volunteer. And like Booker said, down in the south, you got to see families coming along to help wash parts of people's race cars and whatnot, because it was the passion that showed through. What's the rumor now thinking going forward, part of the long-term plan vision for you? Don't tell me that Speedway NZ is going to get a TMO.
I'm surprised he hasn't started that as a rumor, to be honest. He always starts a rumor every week for fun. TMO for Speedway. Oh my goodness, could you imagine it?
There's a few people out there that would like to see that happen, What I do think, though, guys, is that we've actually got a hugely marketable product.
Yes.
Something that a lot of people don't even realise that we do. There's actually people in the country who've never been to Speedway. Can you imagine that?
Yeah,
oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah, Kins, you. That's right.
Yeah. Yeah, he was one of the, and that is it. There is a huge, like, we've taken people, myself and Kins, to people like, we say, come to Teams Champs. They've been to Teams Champs. And take them there. And that's it. Mind blowing. This year we took Huntley Repco, who are part of our show now as well, and they support a lot of Speedway people, the Huntley Repco team, and me and Kins brought them with us to the 240s at Rotorua this year, and the look on their faces and how much they enjoyed it just shows me, when you experience a big event at Speedway, like you say, it's hugely marketable, isn't it? When you think of the 240s event or the Palmy Teams event, if once you go, you just want to keep going. The meeting hadn't even got really into it that much, and they'd already decided that next year they're going to get a camper and come camp for the weekend there and do it. It's just you're right though. I just think that on those situations I've seen, like we managed to get them there and take them because we'd seen it. Like went there a few years ago for the 240s. I'd never been. I'd watched it on TV, but I'd never been, and now I don't miss it. And that proves just how much we could really improve and market our show, so to speak, is what you call it, because it's a show each week that's put on for the public. Yeah, and the best way we all could support that is take our backside trackside and sit on our bums on the seats, because the more on the seats, so the more the track makes, and the more the tracks can produce better shows.
My sister's a recruitment agent at the moment. She's been she takes other people's kids to Speedway with her.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
People that haven't been before, so she's recruiting in new families.
Sorry, kids.
I'm in the middle of, because I do stuff for youth alongside with the police under Blue Light with that umbrella. That's another hat I wear, and we're thinking about taking a whole lot of kids over, to the local track. Just enjoy it. Just have some fun. Like you said, they've not experienced it, never heard about it. Yeah, they see me walking around town and all my Speedway gears and whatnot. So, what's that? Is that drifting?
Yeah.
Just because, but
probably the way you walk, kids.
Yeah. But no, but it's just grown, and it's like getting up there. Like Booker and I, Palmy Teams. Well, I didn't, you have to explain that square. The town, the whole town's behind it. You don't need to say no more. Tickets will go on sale in a few months. So you're ready for that. They'll be all gone. Just up there for some of the embankments, and then you'll have some of those towards the closer to the season. But yeah, that's cool. Is what we got here. Oh, actually, is there any truth? that a lot of people go to dairies more than Speedway?
No. You said this last week. That guy at that council, I don't know what he was on, eh?
That bloody mayor, I don't know, eh? Hey.
They're all going to be lining up at the hot dog stands now after Lani saying the best ones in Nelson. Hey, so everybody needs that downtime, that break from, from it eventually. You for yourself being involved in that. So what does Lani Thompson do that's not Speedway? Do you do something that sort of takes your mind off it? Do you, I don't know, do you knit? Do you watch movies? Do you go to pictures? What do you do to separate yourself? Is it family? What does Lani do?
I paint.
Oh.
I paint. I enjoy art. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I paint. That's what I do in my downtime. Yeah.
Oh, very cool.
Bit geeky, but yeah.
Oh, there we go. We better get one for our next auction, Kins, eh?
Yeah, we'll do that. Yeah. That's cool. If we put a bloody competition out there, no one would have guessed that.
No.
No.
Wow. Here I was thinking you referee rugby. I said, oh, that's really cool. So what in particular do you paint? Is it scenery or what's your passion around painting?
Yeah, generally it's landscape painting.
Landscape painting.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, eh?
So
you got a Speedway track in amongst the background of that painting?
I haven't yet. I haven't been brave enough to try painting a Speedway track. I think that might be outside my my scope of works.
And that's not taking you away from it either, is it? That's
inserting back in.
Yeah. And that's encroaching on your getaway part. So, so the other thing too, I suppose we're getting close to the end. We've got to bring Ams in yet too because he's sitting there patiently. Looks like he got his shit sorted. It's remit time.
Yeah.
Please explain, because my mate here doesn't know what a remit is.
Okay.
So if you'd like to explain to him and everyone else out there about what a remit is and the purpose and moving forward, please.
Okay. So a remit is a requested change to a rule that is looked at basically by the floor to decide whether or not it has merit. So what you do as a person who's wanting to request, or a member who's wanting to request a change to a rule, is you find one that you don't think works very well, or you think that it needs changing. You rally some support around that, so you'll need some help with it, and then you submit it. So at the moment, the technical rules went out for were there and open for people to put their remits in. So it's basically a submission. You look at the rule, you change the bits you want, and then you send it back in. Okay. So those all closed at the end of February, and they've been circulated. So they're out now. So you'll see them start coming out. So anyone who has got any interest in their particular class or their class competitors, get into it, have a look at it, make sure that you're happy with what's there, give your feedback and go wild with it. Like don't hold back. If you think that there's something that's really great about it, by all means tell us. That's wonderful. If there's something that isn't great, make sure you tell us. That's great too. All feedback is good feedback. But I think importantly at the moment, there's about to be another remit cycle open. So these ones that are coming up soon, they all have to be in by the 5th of May. Are the ones that only come around every 2 years to be changed. So they're your constitutional rules, your equipment rules, your the M rules, E rules, C rules, those ones, the ones that, and the R rules. So your racing rules, the ones that you maybe have had issues with and you want to see some change. So those ones are coming up really, really soon. So talk to people about it, talk to your class reps about it, talk to, me if you want to, talk to the office about it. But yeah, it's really important that people give their feedback, because we can't know what we don't know, and we can't pop around to everyone's house to have a cup of tea to see how you're feeling about stuff. So yeah, have a look at those rules and write your remit, your change to that rule, and get that inserted as soon as you can. So the 5th of May, those ones all close off. So yeah.
Oh, well, that'll segue into. I'll bring this in because we can sit there to the side, and the nominations close for the NZ Speedway Awards on the 9th of May. So there
Yes.
you go, the 5th of July up there in Auckland, in the big city of sales, is where you can go along and celebrate the sport that we have a passion for the categories.
And there
all
is
of-
a lot of categories too, Kins. I was looking later today. I actually put that in our post. You know, if people think that we deserve something, have a look at the categories. And like I say, I think it's interesting that when you look at that, it gives an explanation of what each category is that you are doing, which I think is it's very clear, which is what I liked about it today. It wasn't like the best presents here and you think, what's it for? Presents online, but it gives an explanation of everything and for those different things. I think that's good. Every award has an explanation of what it's about and what you need to send in to do your thing. So read those carefully, get them in, because you, the fans, basically are the ones that put it all in and decide, I suppose. Well, it doesn't decide, it gets to a committee, does it, Lani? How does that work? So once a fan puts their, or someone puts their application in for someone.
It's sorry, for your awards.
For your awards, yeah.
Yeah, so they all go back to the promotions team. So there's a separate committee who deals with that. It's not the board. Completely separate committee who deals with that, and they go through and sort out the awards side of things. So
cool.
Yeah.
Easy, more information that we didn't know. You see, clarify it all so people can't go, oh, it's done by them. It's all biased.
No. No.
I know that, but you know, that's what people say, you know. So I thought, well, if we got you on, we'll clarify all of that and people can know that when it comes to this and this and that. And of course, the remits are all done by the board, don't it? So the board will take those remits and then discuss that. And is that how that works?
For the next lot that are coming up, they all go to the AGM. So those are ones that you need to talk to your reps about, and so each track has a promoter's rep and a competitor's rep. So the promoters and the competitors have very different angles that they come from for different things. So it's important that if you support something or you don't support it, that you let the people who are going to be voting on it know how you feel about it. So a lot of places will hold remit meetings. So the tracks will actually hold a meeting where their members can come and have a chat about those rules and flesh it all out and see how they're going to be impacted by it or otherwise. And then they can get a feel for what actually needs to happen. So I would definitely encourage people to get involved in those, the competitors especially, to get involved in those, so that they can have their say, and they do have their promoters rep and especially their competitors rep sitting at that table, informed of what they feel and what they want to see happen. Yeah. So those will all come to the table to be decided at the AGM this year in July.
Oh, very cool.
Very cool. Very cool.
Hive of information and learned things we didn't learn tonight. Didn't know, eh? And even Kinser's learned something new tonight as well.
Oh,
so
that's
always a bonus.
I just let everyone watching the show tonight. I gave Lani $50 to put us in as a finalist for the media award. Whatever you decide to put on Facebook, go for it. I don't care. You can tag me in there.
Good stuff.
Good stuff. Hey, you gotta have fun.
He's out of control sometimes, I tell you.
Go on,
so,
keyboard warriors.
I suppose the final thing for me is: are you enjoying yourself, Lani? Are you having fun and enjoying the role that you're in now?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do enjoy it. There's some things that I've been working on for a long time that are that have started to make progress, and I'm excited about those. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. It definitely has its challenges, and there's more than a few of them going on at the moment. But I do enjoy it. I actually really do enjoy it. I enjoy the people that I work with. I enjoy meeting people when I do get out and about. I do enjoy it.
Yeah,
awesome. And enjoy watching Liam race. He's getting better and better too, isn't he, in that bloody car? Eh?
Yeah. No, he's going along all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
That's
look,
awesome.
it's been a pleasure to have you on our show, to come along and share about your passion, obviously, and I can tell you love it. You're a wealth of knowledge. It's been a real eye opener listening to you speak. I can tell already your commitment, even though you've just been in the hot seat for a few months. You've got around. Nelson's got the best hot dog. You do a bit of artwork. Sometimes you referee a game of rugby, and we all have these challenges. But I can tell. I can just note from you sitting here talking to us and to the viewers out there, you enjoy it. And all I can really say is wish you for the future. No, there is no TMO coming, everyone. But otherwise, look forward to an exciting Speedway season. Look forward to the awards. Let's hope Books and I sit in there in our little tuxedos.
I don't know about that.
Hey.
I don't think they make tuxes in sugar sack size, mate. I look like a big whale. They'll probably push me back in the tux. They'll push me back in the ocean.
That's up the road for me. It'll be good. It'll be a good night to celebrate, and that's what we need to do: is celebrate the success of those who've done well in the sport. Everyone in their own right have done well. Every time you drive through a pit gate onto the track, doesn't matter what class it is, you've done extremely well because it doesn't come cheap. Boys and girls out there, experienced drivers, new ones developing as well. They just get out there and enjoy it for the love and the passion of the sport, and that's no different to you, Lani. Thank you for joining us again. This won't be the last time we catch up. We'll have another chat, and I look forward to that, and look forward to meeting you in person, and we'll have a hot dog and talk a bit of fun and talk a bit of shit. Enjoy ourselves, eh?
No, thank you guys for having me. I've enjoyed having a chat with you and your viewers out there. Thanks, heaps.
Awesome.
Take care.
Thanks, Lani. We'll see you around the tracks. Thank you.
Bye.
There you go, everyone. Next option, we might have a painting. We don't know. We'll see what happens.
Well, I think there was some interesting stuff there, kids, to be honest, and it was all positive moving forward. I see my take from that is moving forward, it all looks good, and people and everybody's got a chance to help it move forward better with these remits and everything as well. And it's just, to me, it looks good. The sport's looking good. And I feel more positive about the sport myself after seeing how much camaraderie that there was in that South Island tour with the Rees tour, and then seeing how everyone was happy at my local track on the weekend, and hearing from Lani and what she had to say it's to me, it's all looking good, mate. The future's looking good for Speedway, I think.
Yeah. No,
that's my view anyway.
You are correctly right, Booker. To have Lani on to clarify a lot of things as well, and you're right. We're in a happy space, I would guess. And look, the end of the season's only upon us. It's only 3 to 4 weeks for most tracks. Some are wrapping up this weekend, but there's a fair bit going on. And a man who does a lot of work and shows passion, I think he's connected with us. We should have him
there he is.
sitting there patiently. Ams, how are you, bro?
Oh, boys, I think my CD was scratched earlier. My CD I had to change the CD. It was scratched. I must have dropped it on the floor, but obviously had a bit of issues with my internet there. But please, right. I was able to. I had to revert to my phone, so obviously the screen changed there. But right. I mean, what a wealth of knowledge listening to Lans there.
Yeah.
Just before myself, man, just you just have to acknowledge the work, and you just mentioned it as well, because she's only been in the hot seat for the last several months, and by the sounds of it, she's already doing a fantastic job in what she's doing, and full credit to herself and her team of colleagues that she has behind her, as well as all the team there at the Speedway New Zealand, because we have to remember, team, as much as everyone that is pouring the amount of money that goes into the race cars to race week in and week out to bring us this entertainment value, which we love, we are still considered a grassroots sport, unfortunately, But hey, just listening to Lans there and the vision that she has for wanting to take us through to uplift and bring more professionalism into the sport, it's absolutely tremendous. So I look forward to seeing how her and her team goes about doing that. But yeah, I mean, just can feel you feel excited about the future ahead, and what's in store for Speedway here in New Zealand. So good on, big ups to you.
Yeah, she's real clever too, bro. You can't put our three brains together. She's a lot more clever than us. She went to school to get an education. Us bloody boys,
don't bring me into your bloody non-education, you two. Hey.
Oh, first, I think first and foremost, boys, do we even have brains? I agree.
She does. She's got plenty, bro. I was like, I was blown
Oh,
away. I was
geez.
like really impressed. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I really enjoyed that talking to her.
Right, let's move on to the AMS Awards because it's past our normal shut-off time, so we need to get that done. Let's get into it.
Hey, fans are getting extra. They're getting extra here, so it's all
Extra.
good. Yeah. No, my apologies, team. I just had a bit of technical difficulties earlier on, but yes, as I had mentioned last week on last week's show, I might add after the weekend gone, I will be making the points secret. And as I'd mentioned on my post on my Only AMS page last week, this is a blueprint that the NRL actually do for the Dally M Medalist Awards, is that they go 2/3 of the season showing the points, and then the last quarter of obviously they make it a bit of a mystery. So because I follow that blueprint as well, thought I'll adapt that same analogy as well. So without further ado, though, we will get into the Alan Wakeling medalist for sprint cars firstly. But just before we get into that, I will take the top 20 drivers from all of the grades that I will explain shortly. So I have done the points updates, and before I explain it shortly, I will take the top 20 from each category that will move on to the mystery transfer. And then by all means, once we get to the end of the season, we'll be able to have a definite idea who will be our recipients in winning these prestigious awards. So without further ado, Kins, when you can, bring up the Alan Wakeling medalist for sprint car racing excellence. And after the weekend results on the weekend, Joel Myers Jr. finds himself stretching the rubber band even further. There on 191 points. Did very good at Ruapuna the other last weekend, I might add, as part of their Speed Week schedule, which also runs this weekend as well. I think they're running tomorrow, I think, and also on Saturday. So, to be honest, team, I just think it's a 3-horse race there between Joel Myers Jr., Jonathan Allard, and Max Skilford. And I think I think for the rest of the competitors there, it could be a good night nurse. But we just never know what could be in store for us over the next couple of weeks there. But the next 10 that will go on as part of the mystery transfer, and this is places from 11th through to 20th. So obviously you've got the top 10 there. 11th through to 20th there. The 54 of Michael Pickens, 78 of Levisage, 51 Rodney Wood, the 82 of Larson, the 6 of James Dunn, 17 of Forsey, the 99 of Christian Hermanson, the 89 of Luke Brown, the ex-modified pilot there, 25 of Caleb Bourne, and the 22K, the sprint car racing veteran, that is Dean Brindle, your top 20 mystery transfer that will transfer on from the points there. And now we will move on to the Tony Cardwell medalist for Super Saloon Racing Excellence. And by all means, if you guys would have seen the results from the Grand Prix that was run on the weekend at Waikaraka Park, and it's fair to say that last race was a bit of a demolition derby there, boys. But man, you can't help but just take a bow, man. Damien Orr, we talked about this last weekend, how these drivers are coming from different classes, and they're applying their trade, and take into consideration the horsepower difference between the super stock and the super saloon. But these guys are getting into it, and man, they're giving these super saloon guys a real good shake up. So full credit to Damien Orr there, the winner of the Grand Prix. And as a consequence of that, that has seen him move into the top 20 for the mystery transfer, which I will explain a little bit further shortly. But take nothing away from your leader at the top of the chain. There is the Craig Cardwell, 8A car there, stretching further there on 122 points ahead of Chris Cowling, 116. I will get into the top 20 mystery transfer there from 11th through to 20th. The 21N of Ian Burson, 18B of Brown, 9W Mark Pitcher, 19C Malcolm Ngatai, 94M Damien Orr, which we just mentioned before, the 77T of Johnson, 87B of Thomas Stanaway, the 86C of Hayden Mackay, 58P, the ex-Superstock pilot there, Peter Bingston, and rounding out the top 20, 6B, Grant Flynn, your top 20 that will move on to the mystery transfer. Now moving on to the Peter Rees medalist for stock car racing excellence. Not very much changes here at all. On the weekend just gone, our leader, Mitchell Lockett, he could only amass 1 point, but take nothing away from that. He still has a 10-point surplus over Sam Wright. He has been doing a marvellous work there at Waikaraka Park, and finds himself in the points hunt there alongside Troy Cleveland there, the Christchurch driver. And I just think, like the previous, I like the sprint cars, division boys, these three right here, I think this is where the competition is, fellas. I really do. You know, you look at Mitchell Lockett, man, what a surprise, man. It's just, this kid just come from nowhere. You know, doesn't even know who he was till the start of the season, but man, he's making himself known. Pretty consistent throughout the whole season, and of course, Brooks, you would have seen him on the Rees Tour as well. You probably would have lost count of how many checker flags that boy has picked up, but well deserved. He finds himself as the leader of the Peter Rees medalist for stock car racing excellence, and I will move on to the top 20 mystery transfer for those guys. And from 11th through to 20th, going alongside the top 10 there shown on the screen, the 70NH of Dave Moore, 82A of Simpson, 991C of Craig Robb, the 7D of Simon Shannon, 655D of Steve Thompson, 8A Logan Pete, 92A of Garnett, the 95A of Gary Lonigan, the 91P of McNabb, and the 96G, just scraping in there, Brad McGee, the Gisborne driver there, but based out of Wellington. That is your top 20 mystery transfer for the Peter Rees medalist for stock car racing excellence. Moving on to the Roger Bertram medalist, brought to you by Pocono Auto Centre. And I mean, boys, do we really need to show that one?
No,
Not really.
no one's going to catch him.
I just think it could be a foregone conclusion there of Brad Lane there, just top of the chain. I mean, another fantastic weekend of results for himself, winning the King of the Coast event at Greymouth alongside the other modified title there, Randy. That eludes my mind at the moment, but
Gold Rush.
man, I just think
Gold
ever
Rush.
since the New Zealand, yep, that's the one, Gold Rush. But I just think ever since the New Zealand Championship, man, he's just Brad is there, has just stepped it up a couple of years, you know, and it's just the points show there for itself, man. And a little bit unfortunate we lost Jacob Mitchell over the last several weeks there with car problems there. I thought he might have been a real threat to the Bradders towards the end of the season, but hey, still quite a few weeks to go yet, team. So we can't just hold our hand on the pulse just yet. You know, anything could happen. You know, I think all it takes is someone might have to go to Bradders' car and sabotage it for the next couple of weeks, boys. But I doubt that'll happen, man. That's quite a point score to try and claw back. But your mystery transfer, they will go alongside the top 10 as shown there on the screen. From 11th through to 20th, it's the 53H of Bourbon Bears. That is Barry Hunter. The 59C of Alan Hay. 32 Greymouth car there of Ian White. The 4C of Mike Gourlay. The 22C of Corbett. The 69C of Andrew Naven. 18H Paul Ferguson. The 124S of Carl Hinton. 5 GM car there of Parkinson. The 71S of Jacko. And the 24C of Dan Ray, your mystery transfer there. Top 20 for the modifieds, brought to you by Pocono Auto Centre. And finally, as we complete our segment here with the Shane Penn medalist for Superstock Racing Excellence, there no changes to the top of the chain there. Still Ash Rees there, clear on top. However, there's only a provisional here, these points, as I wasn't able to grab the results from Stratford through the MyLaps app. So once I do track those down, team, I will factor those in there, and I assure you there'll probably be a little bit of a swifty and points chase there. But yeah, provisionally and unofficially, your top 20 mystery transfer from 11th through to 20th, there's the 99S of William Hughes. 26V is Caleb Mooney, the 24R of Ashen, or one of the Ashens here. Sorry, there's so much of them, you get mixed up with all of them. 48N there is Brad Nichols, the 31C there of Jay Huggies. Holtham 89G is Brody James, the 88P of Jack Myers. 28S of Ullenberg there, the 351 of Paul Vasey. Good scraping there after his memorial win at Rotorua on the weekend. And in 20th place there, rounding out the top 20 mystery transfers, the 85S of Brad Ollenburg. That's where we have it there, team. Your update for the Only Am Speedway Awards of Excellence. And as I mentioned earlier in the telecast, I narrowed the competitor list down there to 20. Main reason being is I just feel with the amount of competition we have left, there's just no point in scoring points for those who are further on down the list. It was a waste of time, to be honest. So I just focused on the top 20 and those who I feel will have a shot at giving this a fair shake-up, team. But yeah, that's me for another week. Apologies for earlier in the show. I just had not too sure what happened there. I think I was watching too much OnlyFans rather than Only Am. So just don't tell my wife, my partner. I think I might have to delete the browser history. So but I think we might be all good team. But race fans, wherever you may be heading out to this weekend to catch a speedway action, be safe out there. But most importantly, have fun. Only a handful of weeks to go, team. We've got Easter coming up next weekend. No doubt there'll be a lot of big events around the countryside with that one as well. Also, the big one there in a couple of weeks, that's the Superstock teams. And no doubt my two boys up above me will be heading to that one. Pleased to say, having talked to Lani and in the background, the pre-show, that they are bringing in the Captain's Challenge for the Superstock teams.
Oh, whatever.
No, boys, they're gonna bring it in. They're gonna bring in the Captain's Challenge. So how that comes about. What they'll do there is they'll actually go into the go back to bunker to watch the footage, which I think will be in Jace's broadcasting van. Plenty to get excited about over the last couple of weeks of whatever speedway racing we have left, team. Here, it's been a privilege to present you with my segment again here this evening, and that's me signing off for another week, team. Thank you very much, and we'll see you again. Oh, no, this is probably the last time you'll see me here on the show for the season, team, until me and Brooks decide to run our awards gala, whenever that may be. We're still in planning stages for that one, but rest assured we'll have all the announcements for that when we do get our head around the team. But that's me for another week, team. Thank you for having me on, boys. It's been an absolute pleasure to have been a part of the show for this season. We'll catch up again soon.
Right. Thank you, Ams. Thanks for the updates with the Speedway Awards of Excellence. Love your mahi. It's a lot of work that you do behind the scenes. We appreciate it. And we'll definitely catch up with you sometime real soon. Keep up the good mahi behind the camera with the Pits Media. But talk to you soon, bro. Thank you.
All right, boys. See you later.
See you later. Oh, and a big thank you to everyone that's watched. I think that's our night down. It's 10 to bloody 9.
I know, we went longer than normal. Normal. Holy snap and duck shit, I tell you. She's been a long one, but that's good. It's been very, very interesting, very good chatting, actually. It's I've enjoyed that tonight. It was good to hear that perspective of things and where it's heading, you know? So.
Yeah, definitely, mate. Definitely. Take care, everyone. We're back again next Wednesday. Enjoy the V8 Supercars. Enjoy Speedway. Be safe. School holidays are just around the corner. So watch out for the kids over the next 2 weeks. Easter weekend's coming up. Then it follows with Anzac. But otherwise, be safe. Enjoy Speedway. Enjoy your hot dogs in Nelson. And we'll catch up with you soon. See ya.
Cheers. Holy snapping duck shit.
My good mate from Bump and Run Booker joins us.
I'm excited for another great show tonight. Give it the hoot now.